The button is hit.
All right.
Hello, everybody.
Slight readjustments.
There we go. We just got back from seeing Black Sabbath.
Yeah. Good times.
All right. I think we should start with you, though, because you've seen Black Sabbath before.
Yeah, I've seen Black Sabbath several times now. This is probably the best time I've ever heard Ozzy.
Yeah.
Because he was, first off, he was sober. Every other time, I'm sure he was effed out of his head. Because
Effed out of his head.
I'm being polite on not cursing.
All right.
Because the last few times I've seen him, he was slow. He was out of tune. He just sounded really, really bad.
All right. Well, let's go bit by bit here. First of all, we saw them at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
As an Islander fan, I know you're not too keen on the Garden.
No, I'm not too keen on the Garden. Can we pay packed in more than, like, sardines?
Admittedly, the seating was a little off.
Yeah, the seating was horrible.
Thank God, though, the guys next to us on either side didn't show up.
So we were able to, spread, our legs, be able to stand up, relax.
I felt like one of those guys who, like, on Southwest, like, pays for 2 seats. Like, I was like, oh, this is freedom.
Oh,
mobility.
We have room.
It was actually pretty enjoyable.
Yeah.
But Madison Square Garden, I have not been to Madison Square Garden since 2011 when I saw Billy Joel. And it's a huge arena to fill.
Yeah.
And Black Sabbath being able to pack out that place is worth mentioning.
Well, because everyone who's at least interested into rock and roll, let alone metal,
Yeah.
we all know Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
I mean, if you listen to rock, you listen to rap, you listen to country, you listen to pop music, you all know who Black Sabbath is. I mean...
Somewhat.
Okay.
At least a little bit.
For those who listen to pop music, they know Black Sabbath, they know Ozzy from the freaking show he was on.
The Osbournes.
Yes.
The pop reference, though, like, the Osbournes hasn't been on for years.
Okay, you know what?
But,
what was that one, like, screamo pop punk rock band that covered Ozzy?
A lot of them. I don't know what you're talking about here.
Oh, what the hell was their fucking name? Sorry.
It's alright.
What was their name?
Covered Ozzy. Screamo pop punk band.
They didn't really cover Ozzy, but they used Sabbath music.
Are you talking about Lil Jon?
No, not Lil Jon.
Because Lil Jon used Crazy Train as a sample.
I know Lil Jon used Crazy Train as a sample. I'm talking about, not, Less Than Jake, maybe?
That's far off on the range there.
No, what the hell was their name?
Alright, well, whatever.
Anyway, some screamo, emo, pop, punk, rock band, whatever.
Moral of the story is, you know Black Sabbath.
Yes.
You know at least one Black Sabbath song. Even when I was in middle school and did not listen to Black Sabbath, we played Iron Man at one point.
You know who Ozzy Osbourne is.
Yeah.
You know who Black Sabbath is. Lo and behold, holy shit.
it was a good show. Like, alright, bit by bit here. Ozzy, let's start with Ozzy.
Yeah, let's really start with Ozzy.
Sounded a lot better than I thought he was going to.
Ozzy was sober to begin with, which was awesome. He was on time with almost everything. And he was able to hit the notes with everything.
It did sound incredibly on point. Like, to the point where here's the thing, even if they had a backing track for Ozzy, even if they had something where it was like to make sure that he stayed on point, it was seamless.
Yeah, it definitely was.
It at least felt like that was genuinely what he was putting out there, and it was good. It was genuinely good.
So definitely bravo to Mr. Ozzy Osbourne.
Because I've heard Ozzy tracks, like Ozzy playing Black Sabbath tracks in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
The bonus tracks that were included on Scream, and, you know, even the last live album that he put out, which I think was live at the Budokan, it sounded like he himself sounded incredibly laxed with everything. And seeing this was just perfect, at least as perfect as we could expect.
You had the smile of joy on a child who just saw Christmas.
I really did throughout this entire concert. I was so happy. Okay.
This was Pat's first time seeing Black Sabbath.
Yes, I've never been to an Ozfest. I have never seen Ozzy, never seen Sabbath in any incarnation. I missed Heaven and Hell before Dio died. So I've never seen anybody who was on stage tonight. Never saw Ozzy, never saw Tony, never saw Geezer, never saw Ozzy's solo drummer, who was not Bill Ward. But
we won't go into that.
But that's the thing. Everybody on stage put on an amazing show.
Yes.
Tony Iommi, I think, reaffirmed with this performance everything that I've always said about Tony Iommi, which is that even, no matter what he's doing, whether it's this, whether it's his solo performances, whether it's Heaven and Hell, Tony Iommi is the heart and soul of everything that he is involved in.
Ever since the introduction of Black Sabbath way back into the 60s, Tony is definitely the heart and soul of this band. He's the heart and soul of all heavy metal, of real rock and roll.
I think he's like the patron saint of heavy metal.
He really is.
And here's the thing. Even however many years later, not going to count because it's been a long night, but
it's been a long night.
It's been a long night. Yeah, we got into the city about 7 o'clock. It's now almost 1. And Tony Iommi's performance tonight, I was mesmerized every time. Even with songs that, like, I'm honestly not a huge fan of, like After Forever. And we'll get into the set list in a second. But Tony Iommi's performance was incredible. Geezer Butler.
Yeah.
Still amazing after all these years. Ozzy solo drummer, who, again, the name is escaping me. But here's the thing. He did an amazing job.
He kept the audience
captivated.
Captivated.
That's the word you're looking for.
Little inebriated at the moment still.
Penn Station was fun. But the thing to remember about all of this is that everything worked together.
Yes.
And, all right, let's talk about the set list for a second. The set list was mostly greatest hits.
Pretty much anytime you really go see Black Sabbath, except unless they just release the album, it's all greatest hits.
From what I heard, like, the set list from when they put out the last album.
Even when they were still really greatest hits.
And this whole performance was just incredible. They opened with Black Sabbath. They ended with Paranoid. They had Into the Void, N.I.B., which, again, we were
friggin' singing it all night. You son of a bitch.
Literally, from the time we stepped onto the train,
yeah,
I was literally just going, oh yeah! And again, experiencing that with everybody else, especially right after Behind the Wall of Sleep, was fantastic. They played Fairies Wear Boots. And
they played Iron Man, which was, no doubt,
Snowblind, which is great. And here's the thing. I work for a classic rock station. I know what it's like to hear War Pigs and Paranoid and even stuff
every half hour.
Every half hour. We play War Pigs at least 3 times a day. And hearing it tonight sounded fresh. And that's saying a lot.
Yeah, this actually, honestly, for me, I've seen Black Sabbath several times already. I've seen Heaven and Hell a few times. This was definitely their best performance. For the show where they're saying, this is our last tour, they're definitely going out with a bang.
And here's the thing. If this is the last time we're going to hear Black Sabbath, I've heard recordings of live Black Sabbath. I've seen performances of live Black Sabbath. Nothing compared to this one. Like, I think this was... They put their best foot forward for everything.
They're putting everything into this tour. Definitely.
Except for the video packages. I gotta be perfectly honest with you.
I was not a fan.
They opened up the show with this, what I can only describe as like a PS1, like Final Fantasy type CGI.
Literally, it was a xenomorph egg. Wait, if you've seen the movie Aliens, you know what we're talking about. And the egg from Aliens giving birth to Satan. And a really bad version of Satan.
And Satan looked like the Satan that was featured in Spawn.
Yes.
Like that bad.
That bad.
It was a little weird. And then it just
spewing fire. It was destruction from like movie clips. Like if you've seen Terminator 2 when they blow up LA.
Yeah.
There's that. You see that. I'm sure there was some Independence Day in there.
There probably was. Yeah.
But this is just us nitpicking at this point.
But that's the thing. The video package with everything was the worst thing about seeing Black Sabbath live, which is more than I know that a lot of people can say having seen Black Sabbath before.
Mm-hmm.
Black Sabbath themselves sounded incredible. And here's the thing. Bill Ward was not there.
No, he was not.
I'm going to go off on a limb here. I'm going to alienate some people here.
Probably really hard.
He was not missed. I don't think we lost anything not having Bill Ward there.
I hate to say it, but we probably gained something with Bill Ward not being there. We got a younger, more athletic drummer.
It was just a good time.
Yeah.
I would say that this is one of my favorite concerts of all time. I'm not going to have this be my favorite concert ever.
No. I will agree, it is not my favorite concert of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, but this is seeing history. This is seeing history in metal.
It's not just history in metal. It's the fact that, like, if they stick to it, which if they don't, you know what? Fine. They probably won't. There's probably going to be... If Guns N' Roses can come back...
Oh, God.
Black Sabbath can come back at any point they want. Because here's the thing.
No. Here's the difference between Guns N' Roses and Black Sabbath.
All right.
Black Sabbath came out in the 60s.
Yeah.
Guns N' Roses came out in the 80s.
And they burned out in the mid-90s.
Yes.
Black Sabbath died and was reborn 5 times over. They have come back from everything from singer changes to drummer changes to everything. Black Sabbath is one of those constants in heavy metal. And so for them to say, this is it, we're done, excuse me for believing that I don't believe that.
I hate to say it, but they are getting on in age. They are getting to the point where their grandparents, probably great-grandparents, especially with Ozzy's family.
Yeah.
I honestly think this might be their last hurrah.
Right.
Because I think, honestly, Ozzy might be having some physical problems.
All right, let's talk about Ozzy for a second, because
right.
we just need to say this before we back out.
He has 3 moves on stage, that's it.
He's always had 3 moves on stage, though. I've never seen Ozzy, and I know this. He's got 3 moves on stage. He's got the thing where he holds the mic stand, and he just kind of like humps along to the beat. He claps, and he goes, "Hey!"
But the thing is, though, he usually claps offbeat, which is always funny to watch.
I mean, I didn't catch that this time.
He was still offbeat.
Yeah?
He was offbeat.
I honestly wasn't paying that much attention to his claps. Because every time he was like, let me hear you, I was like, hey, all right.
I used to be, I mean, I don't really play anymore. I used to be a drummer. I know beats. Ozzy was offbeat.
Yeah.
I hate to say it.
I wasn't paying that much attention because here's the thing, no matter what beat he was playing, the crowd was clapping with him.
Ozzy did work quite well, offbeat or not.
Yeah. Ozzy, I think, sounded better here, no matter what way they made it happen, any performance I've heard from him in years.
Like I said, I have seen Sabbath before. I've seen Ozzy by himself before with his backing band. I will agree, this is definitely the best I've ever heard Ozzy.
All right.
Because, you know what? He's off drugs. He's off drinking. I don't know what the F made him get off that. Holy crap, he actually sounds decent.
The whole band sounded great. I thought the whole band sounded great.
Here's the best reference. When I first heard Paranoid live, it was slowed down by like 3 to 4 measures. It was slowed down.
Okay.
It was actually on time.
Yeah. I thought it felt kind of sped up.
And he actually said all of the words correctly.
Yeah. I will say that for pretty much all the songs. There might have been like 1 or 2 in songs that are lesser known. Ozzy was singing along with everything. Yeah. And the band was on point with everything. I will say, and I don't know whether this was done for Impact's sake or for Ozzy's sake, but there were some songs where they slowed sections down, and some songs where they sped it up a lot more than I thought they would.
I'm going to say that was for Impact's sake.
Because, okay, Iron Man.
Yeah?
Seeing Iron Man live is one thing.
Yeah.
Seeing Iron Man where Ozzy's parts were slowed down so much that it was really deep and really dark.
Yeah.
And then, when they got to the solo, it was sped up so much.
Alright, I've actually heard Iron Man live before.
Yeah.
This was the way they performed it tonight was for Impact reasons.
Okay. Good.
Which is amazing.
Alright. So here's the thing. If we're going to wrap this up here.
Yeah, let's wrap this up here. I'm sure my girlfriend's waiting for me at home.
Yeah. And I'm sure that people are waiting for me to upload this at home. I don't have a girlfriend. But if... we'll
work on that.
If we're going by this as the last performance of Black Sabbath, I'm satisfied.
Definitely.
I think this is one of the best live performances I've ever seen in my life.
100%. Go see this if you have the chance.
I am glad that I got a chance to see this because, as I've said before, there's a lot of acts, legendary acts, that I've not been able to see. I did not get to see Dio before he died.
I did.
I did not get to see... Bastard.
Yes, I got to see Dio before he passed.
Yeah. I did not get to see Pantera before Dimebag died.
I did not.
I got to see Judas Priest after everything started getting back together. I
did get to see Judas Priest, yes.
I got to see Motorhead a couple of months before he died.
Yes.
I'm very happy that I got to see Ozzy and Black Sabbath. So...
one more off your bucket list, buddy.
One more off there. And next week we're going to knock off another. Because...
next week we actually have 2 coming up.
Well, here's the thing. I've seen Doro before.
I have not seen Doro before.
Well, all right. Next week we're going to have 2 more I Saw shows. Probably 2 more.
Yeah.
Because on Tuesday we're going to see Halloween.
Hey.
And on Friday at Revolution in Amityville.
We have Doro.
And Madam Mayhem.
So, 2 of our... how is it that we've become friends with all the female-fronted metal bands coming out?
Because they're awesome.
You know, we became friends with Brittany from Unleash the Archers. We're best friends with Doro, best friends with Madam Mayhem.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I've talked to Simone Simons from Epica. So it's been a good couple of years.
Yeah, it's been...
all right.
Let's keep it going.
All right, then. So, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed our overview of Black Sabbath.
Our vlog.
Yeah. We will be back next time with Halloween.
Remember, don't forget to watch our radio Don't forget to listen to our radio show every Wednesday night.
And watch our Mixcloud channel.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll post links to that in the description.
Yeah. And as this guy always says, remember, life is too short to listen to bad music.
And now for something completely different.
We don't have the clip ready.
I'll put a link to a YouTube channel of like something that's completely not metal.
So like Dan's show? His video game show?
Cold-blooded.